Hey everybody, my name is April and this is Thrifty Nerdy Mom. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. So glad to see everyone. It is Saturday, which means it is DIY day, and today we are doing another recycled DIY, but we are doing it with a Marvel twist. But before we get into that, please like and subscribe. Join our family. If you love DIY content, Disney, Marvel, anything like that, please subscribe because we are doing a lot of content. So, back to what I was saying. Recyclable DIY with a twist. If you haven't seen my recycle DIYs, I kind of take things that I would be throwing away and make them into something different. And I'll link up my January up above because my January one was really cool. It's still hanging on my wall and everything. But this month is Marvelous March, so I decided to do a recyclable DIY with a twist. And what I used was these reusable totes that I pick up from Dollar Tree. So technically it's like a Dollar Tree DIY plus a recyclable one. This one is actually like a second bag. I bought more than one, but the one that I used had like a hole like in the seam, so it was about to bust open, so I decided to use it for something else. So if you want to see what I made, keep staying tuned. So for this recyclable DIY, you're going to need a tote or reusable tote bag from Dollar Tree or wherever you pick yours up, some earforms. I usually use foam sheets to make it a little bit lighter, but I thought I would use some cardboard since we are using recyclable items. You'll need some stuffing. You can use it from an old pillow or you can buy some at Walmart. You're going to need a headband. Usually I use thicker ones, but for me I don't mind the thinner ones. And you're going to need a hot glue gun, hot glue, and some ribbon for the trimming. So first you're going to cut off the handles of the reusable tote bag, and I'd like to say that this tote bag had a hole in the bottom, and that's why I'm using it for this DIY, because it was starting to become useless otherwise. But then after you cut off the handles, you're going to cut off one side. I really like this print, and I actually have a couple of them because I like it so much. And then when it got a hole in it, I thought it'd be great for ears. So after you cut off the side, you're going to want to put down your ear molds and trace around them, but you're going to want to over trace. Here I go about ½ inch out from each ear mold, and if you need a template for your ear mold, you can easily find those online. I traced mine from Disney Park ears to get the right size, and I have kept a template this entire time, and I just kind of reuse it for every year that I make. So after you draw out 4, you're going to cut them out, and then you're going to start gluing the tote bag print onto the cardboard. You're going to want to work in little sections, that way your hot glue doesn't dry as you're going. I also suggest grabbing the silicone hot glue gun finger protectors. They tend to work because you have to be very careful not to burn your finger. I've done it several times and it does not feel great. After you glue down all 4 of your fabric, it's not really, I don't know what to call it, but I'm going to call it fabric because I usually use fabric. After you glue it all down and secure it, you're going to take them and kind of snip in the middle of the excess on the bottom. That way when you go to hot glue that down, it's going to be easier. But before you glue that down, you're going to add a little bit of stuffing into the ear. You're going to want to spread it out evenly and make sure that each ear has the same amount of fluff. You'll see in a second that I don't necessarily fill all 4 before I glue it down, but I've also been doing this for a while, so I kind of know how to like measure out correctly and keep them evenly just by eyeballing it. But after you stuff your ear, you're going to turn it over and glue down the bottom. After all your ears are glued down and ready to go, you're going to take 2 of the ears and glue them onto each other. First, you'll want to like glue down the middle pieces and a little bit towards the edge, but not quite the edge. You're going to want to do this quickly before your glue dries, and then hold it secure until the glue is dried. After your glue is dry in the middle, you're going to take the hot glue around the edge, again working in smaller pieces, that way all the hot glue doesn't dry up before you kind of press it down. You're going to do little sections around the edge and hold it down until the glue dries again. All our pieces are firmly glued together. We're going to cover this little bare edge spot with some ribbon, and you're just going to put hot glue around the trim, again in little sections, that way the glue doesn't dry before your ribbon is down, and then place the ribbon on top of the hot glue. Once again, I suggest using a finger protector for this because you can burn your finger. I actually used finger protector when I was not filming. For some reason, I didn't want to do it while filming. Like I said before, I highly suggest working in smaller little sections other than doing it all at once. Now, after your ears are done, you're going to start gluing your ears onto a headband. I kind of eyeball how I want to do my spacing, but there are templates out there online that you could use for that as well. But after I like my spacing, I'm going to put hot glue on the bottom of the ear. And you will want to go ahead and cover the entire bottom, and then press it onto the headband, holding it on until the glue dries. And of course, do it to both ears. After your ears are glued down, you're going to want to kind of cover up any hot glue that might be kind of peeking out of that ear. So you're going to take a little bit of hot glue, put it on the ear, and use the same ribbon, or you could just use any type of ribbon, but I'm using the same ribbon that I use as trim, and I'm going to put it on the bottom part of the ear close to the headband to cover up any little imperfections on the headband. And as you can see here, I kind of go in one sweep and do all of the bottom of the ear. But if you're not comfortable with doing that, you can just do little sections again. And these are the ears attached. If you're not really a big bow person, you didn't have to add a bow, but I tend to like the bows, so I'm just going to, by the way, this is the hole that was in the bag. I'm going to use the side part of the tote bag and make it into a bow. So I'm just cutting out this long strip that's on the side, that's like the longer length of the bag, and I'm going to use that. And I'm probably going to go through this pretty fast because I've made several bows before. And so you're going to find the middle spot of your fabric and add down, I use 3 lines of hot glue, 1 in the middle and 2 on the outsides. And then you're going to fold your fabric onto the middle, and then again do it for the other side. Now I'm going to take my rectangle of fabric and just like fan fold or accordion fold, whatever you want to call it, the fabric to put the creases in the bow. Now to secure the middle of the bow, I'm going to use the handle of the bag, which is the same yellow, and just glue on the bottom and then wrap it around. After I wrap it around the bow a couple times, I'm going to use the excess to wrap around the headband to keep it a little bit more secure. But first, I'm going to add a little bit of hot glue to glue down onto the headband. Like I said, I wrap it around the headband to kind of keep the bow secure on the headband. I feel like I'm saying headband too much, but you're going to want to trim off the excess and then put hot glue down onto the bottom of the bow middle. Now that I have everything glued down and secure, I'm going to take this little Marvel logo that was on the bottom corner of the bag and add it as a little embellishment to the bow. Here's a little close-up of the embellishment on the bow. And then here is kind of the back of the ears. I really love it, and they are waterproof. So with the other side of the tote bag, I decided I would make a huge bow for my mini wreath. And if you haven't watched how I made the interchangeable mini wreath, I will link it up above. But I, once again, am just going to accordion fold the strip of, or the side of the tote bag. There's no need to like fold down like I did with the other bow, but I am folding like I did with the other bow. Now to secure the middle, I'm taking a piece of leftover from when I did the ears, and I'm going to glue it down just like I did the other bow, putting it on the bottom, placing it on the hot glue, and then wrapping it around the bow. After I have it all glued down and it's dry, I'm just going to add hot glue on the bottom of the bow, and I'm going to place it onto the mini wreath. So yeah, I decided to make mini ears. I thought it was really cool. Pretty much I used all recycled things. The insides are cardboard. You can use the stuffing from pillows. Pretty much all the outer pieces except for that ribbon is part of the bag, even the little Marvel logo. And of course I used the other side of the Marvel bag for my Minnie Mouse wreath bow. And I think like they turned out really well. Plus, added bonus, these are waterproof. Like the bow would probably get wet, but it would dry off quickly, and these would just like repel water. So I thought it was just really cool. It is honestly my first ear kind of tutorial that I will be putting out. I hope to put out a few more characters throughout the month, but I'm really excited about these, and I will be enjoying them all month long. But that is it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you really soon. Bye.